welcome to the third and the final day of KLFF. Karnamati University, I must say, has done a phenomenal job in organizing this festival. So I think all of us must put our hands together for KU for getting so many different people from different backgrounds, different cities in one place talking about art, literature, and so many exciting things. We were backstage and I was asking Shashwat, is there anything that we must definitely talk about and things probably we could ignore or give a pass? And he said, talk to me like an elder brother. Don't ask me questions like a moderator. So my first question as an elder brother is, how many girlfriends do you have?
Hello, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, you can be a little louder.
I'm pretty loud.
Yeah.
Can you guys hear me now? सबसे पहले मैं आप सब लोगों का शुक्रिया अदा करना चाहूँगा कि आपने मुझे ये इज़्ज़त दी, हौसला दिया यहाँ बैठने का और आप लोग यहाँ आए मेरी बात सुनने के लिए। अब मेरे ऊपर ये थोड़ा सा बर्डन है कि मेरी बात जो मैं कहूँ उनका कुछ मानी बने। सर ने जो क्वेश्चन पूछा है पता नहीं मैं उसका मानी दे पाऊँ या ना दे पाऊँ या मत I wanted to also tell you something that I have been a childhood fan of Shruti and her work. I grew up listening to her music, and so for me, I do not think that I'm able enough to share a stage with her, but I'm extremely humbled to get an opportunity to come here and share the stage with her. Thank you so much for having me.
You didn't answer my question.
Now, इसका ना एक बहुत यहाँ पे डिजाइन के कितने स्टूडेंट्स हैं?
अरे इसको गर्लफ्रेंड से क्या लेने देना मेरे भाई?
सर आप मेरी बात सुने अगर तो मैं आपको बताऊं तो ऐसा है कि हैविंग ऑनेस्टी इन रिलेशनशिप्स मैं अपने मैं एक मेरी पुरानी बिलवेड बोलूं गर्लफ्रेंड बोलूं कि क्या मैं उनसे कुछ टाइम पहले मिला था तो मैंने उसको बताया कि ये वाला एक गाना है मैंने आपके लिए बनाया है तो उसने बोला यार ये तुम कितनी लोगों को कहते हो तो मैंने उनको ये बात बताई कि अगर मैं आपको प्यार करना बंद कर दूं और कल मैं किसी और को प्यार करूं और मैं उसको ये बात कहूं कि मैं आपसे सच्ची मोहब्बत करता हूं तो मैं एक दिन उसको भी प्यार करना बंद कर दूंगा तो मेरे लिए प्यार एक अनएंडिंग स्ट्रोक ऑफ मेकिंग अ पेंटिंग है तो अगर आपने किसी को एक बार प्यार किया तो मेरे ख्याल से आप उसे हमेशा तक प्यार करेंगे क्योंकि अगर मैं उसको प्यार ना करूं तो आपने ये बोला कि गर्लफ्रेंड्स कितनी बनाई आपको ये कहना चाहिए था आपने कितनी महबूबा बनाई क्योंकि आपने पता है मेरी रिलेशनशिप्स को उन लोगों को गर्लफ्रेंड कह के बहुत छोटा कर दिया और
टाइम मशीन में अलग बैठ गए हम लोग अलग जमाने में पहुंच गए लग रहा है
क्योंकि यही मैं कह रहा था आपको बात कि क्योंकि अगर मैंने मेरे लिए वो कभी एक गर्लफ्रेंड थी और कल मैं किसी को और उस समय वो मेरा सच्चा प्यार थी वो मेरी सच्ची मोहब्बत थी और अगर मैं कल किसी और को सच्ची मोहब्बत या प्यार करूंगा तो उसके लिए भी मैं उतना ही टेम्परेरी सोचूंगा तो पहले तो आपके प्रश्न का उत्तर मैं ये कहना चाहूंगा कि मुझे आपका प्रश्न बड़ा गलत लगा पर्सनली और दूसरी बात यह है कि जितने गाने होते हैं जितनी मैंने पोएम्स लिखी जितने मैंने गाने लिखे जितनी मैंने कॉम्पोजिशंस की वो सारी सिर्फ गर्लफ्रेंड्स पे अप्लाई नहीं होती हैं वो हर रिलेशनशिप पे अप्लाई होती हैं वो कभी दोस्ती पे अप्लाई होती हैं कभी मेरे फादर पे अप्लाई होती हैं और जो मैंने इश्क मेरे फादर से किया बहुत ज़्यादा इश्क मैंने मेरी गर्लफ्रेंड से भी वैसा किया मैंने जो इश्क मेरी माँ से किया मेरी बहन से मेरा इश्क बहुत वैसा ही था तो जब भी मैंने जो गाने लिखे हैं मेरा पहला गाना था आपने मेरे से भी पूछा
जी
आप नाम बता दीजिए इनको
दम दम फ्रॉम द फिल्म फिलौरी if you guys have watched this film or I was just telling him backstage by the way now you're acting like a moderator और मेरा इंटरव्यू तुम ले रहे हो कि गर्लफ्रेंड मोहब्बत माशूका पता नहीं it was just on a lighter note so I was just telling him that फिलौरी जो फिल्म आई थी आई थिंक दैट वाज अनुष्का's फर्स्ट फिल्म एज अ डायरेक्टर और अ प्रोड्यूसर, ऐसा भी कुछ तो भी था ना। और उसके दो गाने थे जो मुझे बहुत पसंद आए थे, एक दम दम और एक साहेबा। एंड साहेबा ऑल्सो हैज अ वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग स्टोरी विच आई थिंक he'll mention.
तो साहिबा मेरी बहन का नाम है, और मेरी बहन का मेरे जर्नी में बहुत खूबसूरत हाथ ये रहा है कि अ, सबकी जर्नी में उनकी बहन का, उनकी फैमिली का बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट योगदान रहता है। कुछ लोग उनको परेशान कर देते हैं इसलिए उनकी जर्नी खूबसूरत रहती है, कुछ बहुत सपोर्ट कर देते हैं इसलिए उनकी जर्नी खूबसूरत रहती है। तो मेरी फैमिली में बहुत सारे लोग हैं जिन्होंने मुझे परेशान किया इन अ ब्यूटिफुल वे। साहिबा ने मुझे बहुत इंस्पायर किया। तो मेरा पहला गाना जो मैंने फिल्म में बनाया था वो अन्विता ने लिखा था, शी वॉज हियर अ कपल ऑफ डेज अगो, एंड वो मैंने साहिबा के लिए बनाया था। एंड सो शी शी इज ऑल्सो एज इम्पॉर्टेंट एज शी इज दैट क्लियर? हाँ हाँ। So she is as important as all my other girlfriends have been for me to be able to write for them.
All right. Thank you, Shashwat, for being so candid and so descriptive about love, इश्क, feelings, मोहब्बत। और मैं दिल से ये समझता हूँ और मानता हूँ that emotions अगर नहीं है, अगर आप फील नहीं कर पाते, तो आप वो फीलिंग्स को दूसरों में स्टर भी नहीं कर पाओगे एज एन आर्टिस्ट, रिगार्डलेस ऑफ इफ यू बीइंग अ सिंगर और अ राइटर और एन एक्टर व्हाटएवर। तो वो इमोशंस एक आर्टिस्ट हमेशा ज्यादा ही फील करता है, तभी जाके वो दूसरों तक पहुंचा पाता है। श्रुति, आई विल क्विकली कम टू यू। माई इंट्रोडक्शन टू श्रुति इज वेरी वेरी, नॉट वेरी ओल्ड बोलेंगे तो हम लगेंगे बहुत बूढ़े हैं, थोड़ा सा ओल्ड। श्रुति वॉज माई college senior. Both of us are Xavierites, Ahmedabad, and Shruti has grown up in Ahmedabad, if I'm not wrong.
Yes, I'm born and brought up in
Born and brought up in Ahmedabad. Your favorite Ahmedabadi dish is what?
I visited Manik Chowk
Manik.
last night. Last night.
Oh,
So,
okay.
yeah.
So, Ane, what does the Ahmedabadi in Shruti miss when you are in Bombay?
Uh, Actually, 2, 3 things. Of course, my family is from Ahmedabad, so I miss my family the most. And second of all, the food, the street food. I think the kind of food that Ahmedabad gives you, you will not find it anywhere else. So definitely food for me.
My first sort of introduction with Shruti happened when I took an interview. Probably मैंने ऐसा तब कहा था कि मैं पहला इंसान हूँ जो श्रुति का इंटरव्यू ले रहा हूँ उनके गाने के रिलीज के बाद, and the song was Marjawa, and if I'm not wrong it was 2009.
2008.
2008. Fashion.
Fashion, yes.
So I had also just started working in Radio Mirchi in 2007, और मेरे भी initial interviews में से one of those memorable interviews was with Shruti. एंड तब भी मैंने ये सवाल पूछा था, मरजावा केम एट अ टाइम जब बहुत सारे ऐसे गाने बन रहे थे जो बहुत ज्यादा पेपी थे या फास्ट थे। मरजावा का एक अलग ऑरा है ना, उसका एक अलग कामनेस है। डिड यू सिलेक्ट द सॉन्ग और डिड द सॉन्ग सिलेक्ट यू?
I always believe that it's always the song that chooses you. And I couldn't, of course, Salim Suleiman, they have been the medium for this song to happen to me. I couldn't have asked for a better debut or a tailor-made song for me. क्योंकि उसके पहले एक बहुत सालों से, you know, Indian film music में, we were talking about this differentiation between film music and non-film music, and we were just having a chat before we got here. So that's why I'm specifying that Indian film music में हमेशा से एक you know particular style of singing रही थी. तो मेरे लिए not just for me, but I think मरजावा और उस टाइम पे वैसे कुछ गाने ऐसे आए थे और कुछ आवाज़ें, कुछ सिंगर्स ऐसे लॉन्च हुए थे उस 1-2 साल के अंदर कि which was like a you know, it opened the floodgates for a different approach to Indian film music. you know. So I think I was just I couldn't be more grateful
Can you
to.
elaborate more on that? Open floodgates for what? क्या different क्या था
I
उसमें?
think suddenly the industry was open to different textures. Industry was open to different style of singing. क्योंकि पहले एक होता था कि आई स्टिल रिमेंबर जब मैं बॉम्बे शिफ्ट हुई थी और आई स्टार्टेड मीटिंग कंपोजर्स, तो एक क्वेश्चन पूछा जाता था कि आप लता जी के जैसे गाते हैं कि आप आशा जी के जैसे गाते हैं. एंड बिकॉज आई वॉज अ न्यू कमर और एनी बडी इन माई प्लेस हु वॉज अ न्यू कमर कुडंट से कि मैं श्रुति पाठक के जैसे गाती हूँ, यू नो, क्योंकि आपको इमीडिएटली बिकॉज यू आर अ फीमेल सिंगर आपको वो दो में से चूज करना था, यू नो. सो आई थिंक दैट इज द डिफरेंस दैट आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट कि suddenly in those couple of years the composers, you know, and the audience and the films who the directors who were making those films, they were suddenly open to experimenting with not those two styles of singing.
Agree to that. But so what about your music style? Has it come? Is it an adaptation? Have you grown up with that? Did you learn music professionally, or जो गुरु और शिष्य की पद्धति होती है, आप सीखे हैं, or are you a natural, just a
No,
born
no, of
singer?
course I have learned music since I was a child. Um and I think learning is a lifelong process, you know. Even after you've established yourself, or even after you know, so many years of being in the industry and doing what you love to do, but you're learning every single day, you know. When the first time when I met Shashwat, or and now that we've known each other a little bit, I think every time I meet him I learn something so new, you know, because he comes with his own unique presence, his own unique perspective in music. um, like as a composer he has a different sound that he has brought into the industry, जो कि किसी भी composer के साथ में you know, they don't have that. So it's his unique style. So I think जब जब आप एक artist के साथ में collaborate करते हैं, किसी के साथ में काम करते हैं, you are learning on the go every single day. So I think and it's a very important process, because otherwise you'll get stagnant and
Yeah.
you will not grow as an artist. So बहुत important है कि आप रोज सीखें.
और रियाज, इसके प्रीवियस सेशन में भी हम उसके बारे में बात कर रहे थे, वो तो
जी.
जरूरी है ही. एनी आर्ट फॉर्म, चाहे आर्ट फॉर्म क्या, एनीथिंग इन लाइफ, स्टूडेंट भी है तो भी रोज रियाज करना पड़ेगा पढ़ाई का, क्रिकेटर है तो रोज अभ्यास करना पड़ेगा क्रिकेट का. एनीवे, तो शाश्वत, what about your musical journey? Where do you draw your inspiration from, and how did this begin? What was that turning point where you decided कि मेरे को म्यूजिक फुल टाइम करना है बॉस?
सर मुझसे ना ये बहुत बार लोग पूछते हैं, और मुझे ये लगता है कि यहाँ पे इतने सारे स्टूडेंट्स हैं जो somehow associated with. So I feel that the most important part for me as an artist now is change. Change for me is what drives me a lot. Change in the kind of work I do, change from what I've heard before, change from where I wanted to be and where I am. So that is a very big driving force as an artist for me. And that is what also gives me a lot of courage in what I want to do, because I don't want to repeat myself. And I think as far as my past journey, as you asked कि मैंने क्या किया क्या नहीं किया, for me all the drive in me, in जो भी मैंने अभी किया या जो मैं कर रहा हूँ, somehow comes from change. For me that is that one word that I, जैसे Shruti से I met 3-4 years ago, 5 years ago, when I had just moved to Bombay. I had moved to Bombay from Hollywood. I was working and living in Hollywood, making music there. And then मैं फिर लॉरी पे कुछ कर रहा था और मैं श्रुति से मिला, एंड आज मैं फिर से श्रुति से मिला, शायद दूसरी मर्तबा मैं श्रुति से वैसे मिला एज एन आर्टिस्ट व्हेन आई वाज जस्ट प्लेइंग हर द म्यूजिक दैट आई हैव रिसेंटली डन इन द लास्ट 2-3 weeks. And I was thinking to myself on how different this is than where I used to be, you know.
हाँ.
इज एक्चुअली ट्रू, क्योंकि जब हम पहली बारी जब मिले थे और तब आपका जो एक स्ट्रीम ऑफ म्यूजिक था आज कहीं और है, यू नो, एंड हाउ मेनी पीपल, आई एम श्योर, क्योंकि अभी ज़माना पूरा रील्स का है और वो 30 सेकेंड्स में यू नो द वायरल वाला ज़माना जो है.
Hook ढूंढते हैं लोग. People are
हाँ,
looking for the hook.
बट यू नो इन टाइम्स लाइक दैट your music, which is so soulful, which is so, you know, directly from heart, I'm sure आप सब ने कभी ना कभी पिछले कुछ दिनों के अंदर अंदर बातों बातों में पे रील बनाई होगी. That genius is here. Come on guys, give him a huge round of applause.
So बातों बातों में hit like
मैं जितनी
400.
बार पिछले कुछ दिनों में जितनी बार स्क्रॉल करती हूँ यही गाना बज रहा होता है and I'm like, Shashwat, what have you done? Like, it's such a magical song.
So बातों बातों में, you want me to tell you about
Yes,
बातों बातों
please,
में?
please.
So
मैं moderator हूँ.
सर आप बता दीजिए
I'm
बातों
taking
बातों
a
में.
little liberty of
नहीं.
leading
So
this.
I was. Don't talk about बातों बातों में. Sing और perform for us यार. क्या बोलते हो? तो फिर क्या? उसके बाद उसके बातों बातों में करेंगे.
नहीं, बातों बातों में वो वहां तक पहुंच जाएंगे हम.
तो बातों बातों में की कहानी कैसी है कि I was talking to the same girl. तो क्या हुआ था कि I came across an old love of mine and I told her that, you know, I wrote this song for you. That song, actually that one song from that catalog has not yet released. It's going to release maybe in the next couple of months. वो ये उस गाने के अल्फाज कुछ ऐसे थे, जब भी कोई मुझ पे मरता है तुम कितना याद आते हो, जब भी कोई मुझे प्यार करता है तुम याद आते हो. So I was telling her that, you know, somebody, whenever somebody loves me, I want to say somebody that makes love to me, but I would say when somebody loves me, I think about you. And so I was telling her that, you know, you have been a part of my
Existence.
my romance through this time. And then I was telling it to my now love that, you know, if I stop loving her, someday I will stop loving you. But I really do love you and my love for you is extremely pure. And then, you know, a couple of days later, I thought that how generous it is of my now love to give me this opportunity for me to be able to express this to her. How pure is this love from that person, that she loves me so humbly and so honestly, that she gives me this place for me to be able to tell her that I still have some baggage from my old romance. And so I wrote this for her that morning. कैसे कहूँ राज मेरा क्या लोग कहेंगे, मैं और मेरा दिल चुप चुप यूं हम सहते रहेंगे, फिर एक दिन कोई आएगा हौले से सहलाएगा, रख दूंगा मैं मेरा राज उसके हाथों में बातों बातों में. बात जो दिल की पहले कही थी मैं कितना पछताया था, बात जो दिल की पहले कही थी मैं कितना पछताया था, समझा कोई ना यारों ने मेरे मुझको ही समझाया था, पर एक दिन तू जो आएगा हौले से सहलाएगा, रख दूंगा मैं मेरे राज तेरे हाथों में बातों बातों में. Which is this opportunity that this true love gives me for me to be able to tell her or him whatever I want to say. And so this is the story of Bato Bato Mein. And then there is this girl, her name is Raiza Salam. I really want to tell this story to these people. So she is a design student in Scandinavia, in Iceland. And
Okay.
I reached out to a producer and I said I want to do a video for this song. And they said that, Shah, what do you think of these pictures? And they just sent me these pictures. And Magic, who closely works with me, she said that, Shah, I really like this girl. Who is this girl? And so we tried finding out. At the point of time when she was making that video, she was fighting cancer.
Ouch. Okay.
And she said that, Shah, why did you write this song? So I told her that, you know, I wrote this song for true love. Because only true love gives me an opportunity to tell them what I honestly am. what do you think the story is? She said that, you know, what if I tell this story? I think my true love is my father. And so she wrote a story about how a guy honestly wants to tell his father who he really is. And I was like, yes, I completely agree with you, because uh, true love is relationship bending. How we say genre bending, true love is relationship bending. It is not about a girlfriend or a mother or a
True,
sister
true.
or a father.
Yeah, yeah.
And then the final video, I would ask all of you people to see the video of that. And she really did make a very beautiful video. And I presented that video to the label that I'm releasing my music with. And the head of the label gave me this opportunity to release it. His name is Devraj Sanyal. And Devraj Bhaiya saw the video and started crying. He said, Shah, what is this? This is so beautiful. And the girl is 21-year-old. She's never made one video in her life before, you know. And we commissioned a huge chunk of money and just told her, just make this. And she made something extremely beautiful.
Wow.
True. That's amazing. When is it coming out? Or
It's already out on my
Okay.
YouTube.
Okay.
So
So guys, please go and watch it. I would also want to watch it, and I think once we're
Have
done
you
with this
seen it?
session,
No, I haven't. The first thing I want to do is watch it
yeah,
now.
after this. But
Because
could
this
you
is a
could
very
you sing a couple of
heartwarming.
lines with the keyboard if we have the connection? Yeah, I think it's there.
can you guys hear it? Do you guys have a stand for my microphone? मैं इतने खूबसूरत हाथों को मेरा माइक्रोफोन पकड़ने के लिए दूंगा
भाई पीछे
तो-
मुझे बड़ा भाई बोल रहे थे आप.
तो वक्त मुझे गाली देगा. मैम आप जाके प्लीज वहां बैठिए.
मैं ही स्टैंड बन जाता हूँ.
नहीं सर.
नहीं अब तो मुझे ही बनना पड़ेगा.
ये कनेक्टेड है क्या? कैन यू गाइस हियर इट?
थोड़ा लेवल्स बढ़ा दीजिए ना.
कोई बात नहीं सर, मैं बिना इसके गा देता हूँ. मैं इसी के बिना गा दूंगा.
Okay. Do you
मैं I'll hold my own microphone.
do you want a guitar? I can get a guitar.
No, I'm okay like
Sure.
this, yeah.
Okay.
I would love to have a stand if you guys have a stand. Stand
No,
है
they
क्या?
don't have a stand, I think.
कोई बात नहीं. It's okay, guys. उसी एक before I sing this, उसी एक journey में मैंने एक और गाना लिखा था जो मैं श्रुति को बता रहा था. एक गाना मैंने लिखा था दोबारा.
Oh,
आप में से पता नहीं.
that's one song everyone must. जैसे ही खत्म होता है वो गाना चेक आउट कीजिए. It's a beautiful song.
उसके अल्फाज थे, दोबारा अगर मिले कहीं हम, मेरा हो जाना दोबारा, रोकेंगे जाने को ना तुमसे, तुम खुद लौटाना दोबारा.
क्या बात?
कैसी लापरवाह सी मोहब्बत तुमने तो कर ली है मुझसे, बेपरवाह पर हम तो नहीं है, इश्क ना हो हमसे एकदम से, बोले अब तक कुछ भी नहीं थे, चुप रह लेंगे फिर दोबारा, दोबारा अगर मिले कहीं हम, मेरा हो जाना दोबारा.
क्या बात?
Which is again this unending love or unresolved love.
No, so let me just interrupt you for a moment. So where is all of this coming from? Have you read a lot of poetry, or have you have you immersed yourself in a lot of ghazals or different art forms? ये आ कहाँ से रहा है? Is this a natural flow या फिर it is cultivated?
Sir, I think two things that I feel really support the process of design is learning the technique and practice. And my parents were very particular that I learn the technique. So my gurus were really harsh on me to be able to learn them in the right way or the wrong way, or for me to be able to not agree with them and relentlessly try to not do what they were asking me to do.
Yeah.
But a certain part of it was technique, and second was practice. So I think everything, and I think if you combine technique plus practice, I think in an equation that is equal to God. God in any art form is being able to learn the technique and practice it relentlessly, and then I think God comes to you.
Yeah. So that
It
is
has
why
come
it is
to
called sadhana.
correct. That is what is called as bhakti marg in Gita. What is bhakti? Bhakti is you know this one technique and then you relentlessly just practice it.
Just keep doing it. Keep doing it. Yeah. So you were singing. I'm sorry, I had to ask that question.
कैसे कहूँ राज मेरा, क्या लोग कहेंगे, मेरा दिल और मैं चुप चुप यूं हम सहते रहेंगे, फिर एक दिन तू जो आएगा हौले से मुझे सहलाएगा, रख दूंगा राज मेरे तेरे हाथों में, बातों बातों में, बातों बातों में, बातों बातों में, बातों बातों में, कह दो दिल में छुपी जो तेरे बात है, क्यों चुप हो कैसे राज है, कह दो दिल में छुपी जो तेरे बात है.
बहुत सारे लोगों ने तालियों के साथ साथ देने की कोशिश की पर बहुत आउट ऑफ ट्यून था. सॉरी.
मैं
नहीं वो Shruti, let's also talk about a similar art form. And just day before, we witnessed Shruti performing live for KU and KLFF Guzzler. When I first heard that name, it kind of showed me different images in my mind.
हाँ, it took you to the bar.
It took me to a bar. Yes, it did.
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल.
Yeah, please.
Of course.
सो मैं एक्चुअली आप माफ़ कीजिएगा आपकी बात काट रहा हूँ. मैं एक बात कहना चाहता था, अगर आप इससे पहले बात कहें, कि हिंदुस्तान में गज़ल जो है वो बहुत ही पुराना आर्ट फॉर्म है.
Of course.
और मेरी जनरेशन में आई थिंक अगर एक आर्टिस्ट है जो उसे सच्चाई से निभा रहा है तो वो श्रुति मैम है. और बहुत कम ऐसे लोग होंगे जिनको हम जानते हैं जो श्रुति मैम जैसे गजल्स को वो एक इम्पोर्टेंस और एक औहदा देते हैं अपने लाइव में, अपनी परफॉर्मेंस में, अपनी जिंदगी में, अपने आर्ट की जर्नी में. तो मैं श्रुति मैम से ये पूछना चाहता था कि व्हाट इज हर रोमांस टुवर्ड्स दिस आर्ट फॉर्म एंड व्हाट इज इट towards ghazals. I remember she remembered it. First time we met, she was telling me, Shai, we were talking about that one particular ghazal. But I know that she is extremely passionate about this art form. What is it about ghazals and what is it about the other art forms that you are not so inclined towards them, but you are still inclined towards ghazals? What is it about it?
I think पहली बात तो ये है कि ऑब्वियसली बहुत सदियों से हम गज़लों को सुनते आए हैं, तो हमें पता है कि एक इट्स अ फॉर्म ऑफ म्यूज़िक, पर एक्चुअली में इट्स नॉट अ फॉर्म ऑफ म्यूज़िक, इट्स अ फॉर्म ऑफ पोएट्री. तो आई थिंक मेरे लिए पोएट्री, शब्द, वर्ड्स आर क्रूशियली इम्पॉर्टेंट. इसलिए जब मैंने दोबारा भी सुना था, आई कुड इंस्टेंटली कनेक्ट बिकॉज ऑफ द वर्ड्स. यू नो, वो क्या कहना चाहते हैं. इट्स आई थिंक गज़ल एक इतना खूबसूरत एक्सप्रेशन ऑफ इमोशंस है विच आई कनेक्ट विथ अ लॉट. यू नो, तो आई थिंक मेरे लिए वो पोएट्री बहुत ज़्यादा इम्पॉर्टेंट है. काफ़ी बार ऐसे होता है, कुछ जॉनर्स ऐसे होते हैं जिसमें और म्यूज़िक ओवरऑल फॉर दैट मैटर वी से कि यू नो म्यूज़िक इज़ इट कैन नॉट बी बाउंड बाय language or words. Yes, definitely. बट वर्ड्स पोएट्री का भी एक उसका एक अलग मैजिक है,
जी।
यू नो, एंड आई थिंक आई कनेक्ट विद दैट अ लॉट. तो मुझे और मैं बचपन से ही ऐसे माहौल में पली बड़ी हूँ कि घर में आई स्टिल रिमेम्बर थर्ड स्टैंडर्ड में भी हम लोग गुलाम अली जी की गज़लें सुनते थे घर में.
जी।
सो माई अपब्रिंगिंग हैज़
Of course,
been
major
that,
role.
you know, it's played a major role in my I think कोई भी बच्चा, they are not born with that kind of
Right,
taste.
right.
Taste is accumulated or it's
Acquired.
acquired, you know. So it's over the years you are
Yeah,
shaped to think a
yeah,
certain way, you are shaped to feel a certain way,
yeah.
you know. जैसे यू नो जो आज की जनरेशन है, दे आर
जी,
यू नो क्विक फिक्सेस हैं, लव समवेयर डाउन द लाइन इज लॉस्ट, यू नो. बट Shashwat being from this generation, he feels love so strongly,
so
as we
strongly. Yeah,
heard
true, true.
you know his opinion and his views on love, how he perceives love, you
Yeah.
know. तो ये एक चीज़ है जो कि acquired है.
Hmm.
I'm sure his upbringing would have been
Yeah,
such कि
yeah.
आज वो ऐसे फील कर पाते हैं या
जी,
ऐसे सोचते हैं
जी.
प्यार के बारे में या पोएट्री के बारे में या म्यूजिक के बारे में. सो आई थिंक आई हैव ऑल्सो बीन ब्रॉट अप इन अ सर्टन वे कि दिस इज हाउ आई फील अबाउट पोएट्री इन जनरल और एंड स्पेशली गजल्स. तो आई थिंक इट्स वेरी वेरी क्लोज टू माई हार्ट. तो गजला वॉज माई वे ऑफ रीचिंग आउट टू द यूथ, क्योंकि कहीं ना कहीं youth doesn't really connect with ghazals as much as you know the
Popular
previous
music, yeah, or any else, any other,
any other
anything else.
genre,
Yeah, yeah,
you know. So I think it was just my attempt to you know shake up the youth and say कि okay इसमें भी
इसको भी सुन के
उतनी ही
देखो.
बात है, you know. You just need to you know give it an ear.
So it's very important if you're an artist to expose yourself to different forms, different genres, and then maybe you can decide कि अच्छा मेरे को इसमें मजा आ रहा है तो मैं ये ज्यादा करूंगा या कम, whatever. पर सब कुछ में थोड़ा थोड़ा अगर हम करके देखें तो देन वी विल रियलाइज कि कितना कुछ है. वैसे तो म्यूजिक और जॉनर्स इज एन एंडलेस, इट्स एन ओशन, इट्स अ प्लेथोरा ऑफ थिंग्स दैट यू कैन लिसन टू. बट जो मोटा मोटा है कुछ ज्यादा अगर समझ लें देन प्रोबेबली व्हाट
But
हैपेंस इन
I
या.
think, sorry, I think it's also important as artists, it's our responsibility कि ये जो legacy है, this is legendary work,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
और ये हमारे culture की, हमारे हिंदुस्तान की ये legacy है, and as artists, it's our responsibility कि ये कहीं down the line खो नहीं जाए, you know. तो हम इसे यू नो कहीं ना कहीं थोड़ा सा अगर रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी लेके इसको आगे चलें तो ये हम अपने आगे की जनरेशन्स को पास ऑन कर सकते हैं.
ये बहुत बड़ा डिबेट है बाय द वे, एंड सिंस ऑल ऑफ यू आर स्टूडेंट्स, बहुत लोग ऐसा कहते हैं कि हिस्ट्री को सीखने की जरूरत क्या है, क्योंकि वो तो चली गई है ना. वॉट एवर इज गॉन. वी मस्ट लुक फॉरवर्ड. हमें इसकी चिंता होनी चाहिए कि आगे क्या आने वाला है और अभी हम कहाँ हैं, ना कि क्या हो चुका है. ये एक डिबेट है, अनएंडिंग है, मैं उसमें नहीं पढ़ूंगा. मैं ऐसा मानता हूं कि अनलेस यू नो वेयर यू केम फ्रॉम, हाउ विल यू डिसाइड वेयर यू वांट टू गो. तो इसीलिए हमारे जो रूट्स हैं, हमारा जो कल्चर है, एटलीस्ट हमें पता तो होना ही चाहिए. फिर आगे हम उसे कितना पास कर पाते हैं, पास ऑन कर पाते हैं और आगे अडेप्ट होता है कि नहीं, वो एक दूसरा प्रॉब्लम है. एंड वी शुड नेवर गेट इनटू दैट. आवर ड्यूटी इज टू प्रोबेबली काइंड ऑफ टेक इट एंड हैंड द बेटन टू द नेक्स्ट जनरेशन एंड से कि भाई ये है, अब इसको पकड़ो, आपको लगता है तो आप आगे ले जाओ. इतनी हमारी जिम्मेदारी मुझे लगता है कि है.
बिल्कुल है.
शाश्वत, सो हाउ इम्पॉर्टेंट इज इट फॉर अ सिंगर in today's day and age to be active on social media?
सर मैं दो बातें कहूँगा. बिफोर दिस आई पर्सनली थिंक दैट यू डोंट हैव टू नो हिस्ट्री. जॉब ऑफ एन आर्टिस्ट इज एक्सप्रेशन. You have to just learn the technique of articulation.
Right.
And when I say articulation, Picasso articulates with strokes.
Right.
Lee Corbusier is one of my favorite architects. He articulated through buildings.
Right.
You know, Ghalib articulated through Urdu.
Right.
Premchand articulated through Hindi. And few of my favorites, for example, Mozart is one of my favorite composers.
Right.
Most of his greatest work was done when he was 16, 17 years old.
Yeah.
Do you think he studied Bach?
Of course not.
So it doesn't matter what you know about history. To me, I feel that it does not matter. To me, I don't care about what people did, you know.
Right.
Like for example, I don't want to quote myself, but when people are working on their new work, which is upcoming, I don't want to think about, okay, if, for example, if I'm scoring for a comic film, I don't want to see what the last comic film was scored like.
Right.
To be honest, I want to ignore how it was done. I want to. Now you would say, if you do not know what was done, how do you ignore? You know, because you don't even know what was done before. I just don't care. You know, what I want to do is my expression on how I attempt. So, James Dyson is one of my favorite inventors in the recent times.
Okay.
सबने Dyson vacuum
Of course.
cleaners वगैरह सुने हैं, right? So James Dyson was asked one day that how do you overcome not having any background in what you are doing, and but you still want to do it. James Dyson said, bro, you are blessed. You're blessed that you don't have a background in it. Because with a lot of practice comes a lot of baggage.
Yeah.
You just don't know what to do. You're so blessed you don't know how it should be done. Now you are going to find a new way on how it should be done. So I feel
True.
not having experience is a blessing that we should take for our stride. Then, you know,
Of course.
think of, oh, I need to know this, I need to know
Right.
that, or da da da.
Of course.
It doesn't
And
matter.
so there are no set rules which say कि ऐसे ही होता है या ऐसे ही हो पाएगा.
Sir, गीता का
Everything
सार है,
works differently for everyone. Yeah.
Gita Sar says change is the law of universe.
True.
You know, if you look back and see the last musician that we remember in Indian music, tell me the last musician you remember. The earliest musician you remember.
R.D. Burman.
No, before that.
SD Barman.
SD Burman.
Before that. Bade Ghulam Ali. Before
Haan,
that.
of course.
Tell me.
Yeah, that's the last generation that we
Before
remember.
that, the furthermost you could go is Tansen.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you remember anybody before Tansen? Do you think there is no musician before Tansen? You are meant to be forgotten, and change is inevitable.
Of course.
It doesn't matter what the past people have done. What we need to do responsibly is, God gave us a voice. We need to articulate, guys. We need to tell our stories. We have to tell what we think,
We feel.
and also remember, we will be forgotten.
Of course.
What we are saying will be a bygone.
Yeah.
That's all. Yeah, that's it.
Instagram पे आ जाओ ना भाई, वो मैंने जो पूछा था.
Sir, I personally, I don't know. I don't have.
Do
an
you make
answer.
reels? They will be also forgotten, but do you make them?
Honestly, I have like few people who make them for me.
Ouch. Blasphemy.
But I love Instagram for being in touch with people.
Ah.
I've had a gypsy journey in my life. You know, I've moved from people to people, from friends to friends, from singers to singers, from countries to countries, from cities to cities, from artists to artists, from instrument to instrument. And so I think in a weird way, Instagram keeps me grounded. I don't know if that makes any sense.
Not
Okay.
to my generation.
You
सब
know?
सोच रहे हैं क्या
Dude,
ये
that's
क्या
Insta-
बोल रहे हैं भैया. Instagram keeps me grounded. It helps us fly. What are you saying?
For me, it keeps me grounded. Like I will see somebody, I will see an old friend there and remember who I used to be and how I have changed. I will see an old teacher there and it will remind me of how I've never agreed
But
to her.
I think that's also because despite being this generation, he is not,
It's an old soul, no?
he's an old soul. That's why he's using the good side of social media and talking about it.
No, I don't know if past is the good side, but I just somehow, it keeps me grounded, you know, like old friends, old people, old music, things that, like for example, I was telling her, she asked me, Shah, did you ever learn classical music? I said my guru would say no because I never agreed.
Good answer.
So it keeps me in touch with reality. In
Do
a
you get
weird way.
DMs?
Yeah, a lot of them. And they also keep me kind of grounded. They make me, they kind of make me realize on how they make me feel nice about myself. And I like to believe I am nice.
Yeah, they sure do. Some of them.
You know, by the way, I want to tell you, I don't know, there is a girl that somebody I used to know. She used to get a lot of like, do you want to say something? सर आप आगे आ जाइए मेरे को समझ में नहीं आया आप क्या कह रहे हैं
And guys, we'll have a Q&A a little later. But since you've already asked the question, it's all right. We'll take that question.
There is a
No, but let him finish. No.
Hello. Okay. So as you said that DMs keep you grounded, then if they make you feel better about yourself, then how does it make you grounded?
क्या बात contradiction पकड़ा भाई ने.
So, do you feel I'm really bad?
No sir, I like to be very candid. I don't know anything. Like
Huh.
I'm asking this just. From
So I just want to say that, you know, you have to give yourself an opportunity to be okay with yourself and to be okay in your skin. कि मैं ऐसा हूँ. अब मैं एक बात बताना चाहता हूँ, आपने ये बात कही है तो how it keeps me grounded. We come from a third world country and I come from a 2-tier city, 3-tier city, you know. From a third world country, Ahmedabad is like that. You guys, most of you are like that, you know. We are not from Delhi or Bombay. Some guys are. With all due respect to them, I'm talking about people that are not from there. The sex ratio of our country of 5 or 6 years back used to be 1024 to 1000, which means 24 men never get a girl ever in their life.
I am that guy. 23 बाकी.
I used to be so terrified that I'm going to be that guy.
No,
right?
but you said all that Mashuka.
So now there are 3 things that a guy needs to have. I'm not talking for the girls, I'm only talking about me. There are 3 things that a guy in my mind needed to get a beautiful girl. Either he needs to be rich, he needs to be good looking, or he needs to be intelligent. Right? इन 3 में से कुछ ना कुछ तो चाहिए ही चाहिए अगर आपको. You need to be under the 1000 and not be one of those 24.
सही होगा क्योंकि मेरा कहीं पे 3 में से एक भी कैटेगरी में नहीं.
तो मैंने बोला, मैं अपनी उस समय की सारी गर्लफ्रेंड्स को बोलता था कि यार देखो मेरे पास पैसा तो है नहीं, मैं गुड लुकिंग भी नहीं हूँ.
नहीं यार, ऐसे मत, दिल छोटा मत करो यार. कम ऑन यार, ऐसे.
That's what Instagram makes me feel like. Exactly. कि दिल छोटा मत करो यार, it's okay.
हाँ.
आप हो, किसी ने आपको प्यार से आपका हौसला अफजाई की, आपको इज्जत दी, उसको, क्योंकि देखो eventually what I feel is, अभी जैसे श्रुति है तो श्रुति has a completely different take on Instagram because Shruti approaches Instagram in a completely different way. I think a lot of people are, you know, appreciating her. In my journey, only in the last 1 year, people have started appreciating me on Instagram. A very handful. And it keeps me, in a very nice way, it keeps me grounded. It keeps me in touch with what the reality of the world is. That's what grounded means, right?
Yeah.
कि सच है क्या? तो यूनिवर्सल सच तो कुछ भी नहीं है, मगर आपको ये पता चल जाता है कि सामने वाला बंदा क्या सोच रहा है और वो वैसा ही है और वही रियलिटी है, राइट? एंड व्हेन यू नो दैट, you are grounded that, oh, now somebody in a 4th tier city of India is thinking like that. That girl is thinking like that, and that is what the reality of our country is. That's the reality of our world that we live in, and that's what I truly realize that that's the world I'm living in.
Shashwat, when you are with one of your Mashukas, who speaks more? Don't answer the question. We know it.
Sir, if either of the party talks in love, the love loses its meaning.
अरे तुम लोग क्या कर रहे हो? कैमरा चालू रखो क्योंकि ये रील की लाइंस दे रहा है. कभी ड्रॉपिंग दोज लाइंस. ओके, alright, Shruti, let me come to you very quickly and ask you a very important question. Today is 12th. आज कौन सी डेट है यार? 12th है ना?
12th.
Who's your Valentine Day after tomorrow?
Surprisingly, I don't have a Valentine. तभी तो मैं अहमदाबाद में बैठी हुई हूँ, वरना बॉम्बे में होती ना अभी.
No, so how does a
I think
person?
I'm my own Valentine. It's an emotion. It's a feeling. और ये रोज change होती है, you know. And I'm not saying कि अच्छा, you know, your emotions change every day, but your current status of perceiving it changes every day, क्योंकि हम सबके लाइफ में ups and downs होते हैं. आज कुछ और फील कर रहे हैं, आज बहुत ज़्यादा अच्छे मूड में हैं तो हम उसको अलग तरीके से परसीव करेंगे. आज थोड़ा सा डल फील हो रहा है तो हम किसी को मिस कर रहे हैं तो अलग वे में उसको परसीव करेंगे. सो आई थिंक it's a very individual and situational emotion. So I think it's very difficult to express what do you perceive love as, but I think it is उसे हम, as Shashwat very rightly said, कि हम इसको, when we talk about love, it is not only about the romantic
Yeah,
aspect
of it.
Aspect of it. It could be as uh, prominent in your life for your parents, for your friends, for your sibling, or you know, for your art, you know.
Yeah.
I think so mere liye, if I have to say what do I love the most, I think it would be
Performing or being on the stage or singing.
music in general.
Music in general. So, how many of you have watched Dev D? Dev D. I didn't expect Gen Z to watch it because वो I think 2008 या 2009 में आई थी मेरे ख्याल से.
2009 yes.
और वो एक कल्ट फिल्म थी और देव डी का पायलिया was written by Shruti. So, what is that process? So, would you rather sing or you wanted to write कि ऐसे ही लिखा गया, वो कैसे हुआ था पायलिया? How did that happen?
Honestly, पायलिया मेरा ऐसा कोई, I love to read poetry. I love to, I mean, I feel poetry.
Yeah.
And I believe that about myself, that I feel poetry. और poetry की, when you know, मेरे गुरुजी ने मुझे एक बहुत अच्छी बात बताई थी कि poetry ये नहीं है कि इसका ये मतलब है. Every individual who's reading it or feeling it has a take on it, and that is their reality of that particular piece of poetry. तो मैं मानती हूँ कि मैं पोइट्री को फील करती हूँ और जो मेरी समझ है उस पीस को लेके वो मेरे लिए सही है, you know, पर आई एम नॉट अ राइटर. पायलिया तो एक्चुअली fluke would be a very shallow word for it, but actually में हुआ ये था that I was supposed to go into the studio and sing पायलिया. तो अमित त्रिवेदी ने मुझे, that's true, he said the right word, it's destiny. तो वो actually में हुआ ये था कि I went into the studio, अमित ने मुझे गाना सुनाया and तब lyrics लिखे नहीं गए थे तो उन्होंने बस सुनाया and said that we will be recording this song soon. So I said okay, I'm listening to it और मुझे लगा कि you know, something about the song which I resonated and connected instantly, you know. तो मैं गाना सुनने के बाद मैंने उनको सामने से कहा कि you know, I would want to try writing it. And he was also surprised that you know, you're here to sing it and you're you know, just saying लिखने के लिए. So I said ठीक है, let me just give it one shot. If you like it, रखेंगे या we'll see how to explore it. But अगर नहीं पसंद आए, please feel free to throw it in the trash. I'm okay with it. और मैं घर पे गई और you know, somewhere down the line it just fell in place.
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
that's the only time I'm actually you know, I wrote something.
Yeah, and that usually happens when you create good art. It gets created on its own. So probably that is what is destiny or divine intervention, if you
Absolutely,
would ever want to
absolutely.
call it that. Or finally they've managed a stand.
So I want to tell you my story. I was in class 12.
Okay.
I was obsessed with Shruti.
Okay.
Shruti knows this, that I'm honestly saying this because I met her for dinner last week and me and my love were talking to her about it, and she's obsessed with her as well and she knows that.
Yeah.
And I'm very surprised that you guys have not seen Dev D.
They
But
must have. They must have. But it
but
was a
the
cult film then. It's a
yeah, but
decade now.
yeah. So but the that song was, I was intensely obsessed with that song. And what I really liked about it was that there was nothing like that poem. There was nothing like that voice. There was nothing like that performance before that.
Yeah, yeah.
So
That's true.
coming to
That's true.
my own point of, it doesn't matter what she heard in past.
Yeah,
When
yeah,
she
yeah.
did Paella, tell me a song like Paella that you heard in your
True.
past that affected Paella.
True.
You just
True.
were so
True.
fearlessly and relentlessly you.
Yeah.
And I was extremely obsessed with you.
Yeah, yeah,
And so for me, it's like a life completing a circle. Imagine, guys, if you love somebody, it's quite possible you will land up with them. And don't be disheartened, because imagine me with Shruti here. It's just,
So sweet. Thank
So
you.
be careful with your choices. Or do we have any questions? Or okay, there are a couple. Can we send the mic to the first row? Where's the mic? Try and be precise with your questions. So, क्योंकि answers तो elaborate ही मिलेंगे.
It's for Shruti ma'am. Ma'am, Radha Ne Shyam Mari Chache is one of my most favorite songs. So I would really like to know about that. आपने તમને मतलब એ સોંગમાં સચિન જીગર સર સાથે કામ કર્યું હતું, તો તમારો એ એક્સપિરિયન્સ કેવો રહ્યો હતો અને how was the making of this song? And second one is, it's a request, can you please sing few lines of that song? Please.
Sure. Okay, so Radha Ne Shyam, it's a beautiful thought. I think the song is it's very thoughtful, you know, and it's 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 about that assurance in love, but from the perspective of Radha and Shyam, who are iconic uh, in our Indian mythology. They are the icon for, you know,
Love.
unconditional
Yeah,
love.
true love.
सो इट वॉज अ ब्यूटिफुल थॉट. और सचिन जिगर ने मुझे अप्रोच किया था इस गाने के लिए. एंड द ओनली थिंग आई रिमेंबर, बिकॉज आई वॉज एब्सोल्युटली इमर्स्ड इन टू सिंगिंग इट, द ओनली थिंग आई रिमेंबर इज कि मुझे सुबह 6 बजे गाना रिकॉर्ड करने के लिए बुलाया था. एंड आई एम नॉट एन अर्ली राइजर. तो मुझे सबसे ज़्यादा पसंद जो इस गाने के बारे में है वो ये है कि the composition was so beautiful, and this is the magic of music. Otherwise I'm usually not up in the mornings. We always discuss that कि हम लोग we are like night people. रात को ज़्यादा creativity flow in होती है. तो सुबह सुबह में भी like, you know, you are so passionate about something that, you know, आप सुबह 5 बजे उठ के भी उसको, you know, इतने passionately, like you basically pursue it, is what I was trying to find a word for pursue in Gujarati. But yeah, basically I think that was the best part for me. Here's the 2 lines. કે આજ પ્રીતમ ને પ્રીત મળી જાશે તુજો, આજ પ્રીતમ ને પ્રીત મળી જાશે તુજો, રાધા ને શ્યામ મળી જાશે તુજો, રાધા ને શ્યામ મળી જાશે. Thank you, thank you.
પણ આગળ કન્ટિન્યુ કરો ને, 2 લાઈનમાં બહુ અધૂરું અધૂરું લાગ્યું.
જમના કાંઠે રાસ રમે કાનુડો ને રાધા, જોવે આખું ગામ જોને મેળી કામ આધા. જમના કાંઠે રાસ રમે કાનુડો ને રાધા, જોવે આખું ગામ જોને મેળી કામ આધા.
Superb, superb, superb.
Thank you.
How nice. All right. Any further questions? Yeah, you wanted to ask something. Can I have the mic sent to the first row?
Yes, you're audible.
Yeah, the mic is here.
Hello. Hi, Dr. Rajni here. So as a classical dancer, huge fan of Thumri. It was just a request. Can you please sing two lines of any Thumri because you are also a fan of the it's possible.
Wow, that was an unexpected one. So let me just. That's his forte. आजा रे सवरिया देखा देखी तनिक हुई जाए हमरी अटरिया पे हमरी अटरिया पे आजा रे सवरिया देखा देखी तनिक हुई जाए हमरी अटरिया पे. Thank you.
All right, I have time for just one more question. Yes, the girl at the back. Yeah.
Hi, so firstly, it's a pleasure hearing the three of you. My question is to Shruti ma'am, that you know that this generation is more inclined towards Bollywood. And the other day on your show also, the 70% of the crowd were asking you to sing Bollywood instead of Ghazal. So how do you like plan to keep Ghazal alive for the Gen viewer?
Well, I think as I already said, ki I believe in the form of ghazals, and I'm going to do my bit, and I'm going to push every opportunity I can to reach out to the audience, reach out to the youth, and have them crave this form of poetry and this form of music as much as I do. I'm going to do my bit, and because I believe in it, and because I'm so passionate about it. So
And you know, the power of words is never gonna go away. मतलब ये वैलेंटाइन वीक में हम हर साल देखते हैं, शायरी फॉरवर्ड होती रहती है. तो कहाँ से शायरी भी क्या हो रहा है, वो वर्ड्स ही तो हैं. तो वो तो हमेशा रहने ही वाला है, वो कहीं नहीं जाएगा. हाँ, उनके फॉर्म्स शायद चेंज होंगे या इंटरमिंगल होंगे, वो तो जैसा हम आगे भी बात कर रहे थे, चेंज इज द ओनली कांस्टेंट दैट वी हैव, राइट? सो इट विल कीप चेंजिंग, मे बी इंटरट्वाइन होगा.
Also, कोई I wanted to also say that there is no competition between Bollywood and Ghazal.
ऑफ कोर्स.
You know, ऐसा नहीं है कि बॉलीवुड अच्छा है या खराब है या गजल अच्छी है या खराब है. किसी ने बोला गजल सुनना चाहते हैं तो वो गजल सुनना चाहते हैं, तो यू हैव टू रेस्पेक्ट द फैक्ट दैट वो गजल सुनना चाहते हैं. किसी ने बोला वो बॉलीवुड सुनना चाहते हैं तो बॉलीवुड सुनना चाहते हैं. और बॉलीवुड में भी बहुत सारी गजल्स हैं, यू नो. मतलब मेहंदी हसन साहब इज मेहंदी हसन साहब ओनली बिकॉज ही sang in films. Most of my favorite Mehndi Hasan Saab is all his film work.
Yeah.
So ऐसा नहीं है कि अभी यार बॉलीवुड अब गजल्स का क्या होगा.
Yeah. All right. So I think we'll wrap this session up. There are a lot of questions that I would want to ask and know their opinions and views about, but obviously we have very limited time, and the next session we've already overshot, and the next session is about to begin. So before I wrap this up, I would like to take this opportunity to thank Shruti and Shashwat both for being here. Thank you guys. Thank you for being a part of this conversation.
thank you.
And I hope you liked the audience. And Shashwat, I hope you liked my questions.
I am extremely grateful to you people.
अरे
I'm extremely
ऐसे करके हाथ उधर कर लिया, देखा?
No,
You as well.
I'm extremely grateful कि आपने मुझे मौका दिया यहाँ आने का और मेरी बातें सुनी. Thanks a lot.